double-minded man. A double-minded man is unstable. A double-minded man is unstable. A double-minded man is unstable. Where do we find these bodies of understanding? Where do we find these bodies of knowing? How do we act upon what we gathered out here in this world? What is a double-minded man? You see, and what makes the double mind unstable? How do you have your mind and then have a spirit mind on the outside of you, guiding you, or have an instructor or a director's mind dominating your mind so you can live? What if you had one mind? You see, what if you had one mind and inside of that one, there's multitudes? I don't think you heard what I just said. What if you had one mind and inside of that mind there was multitudes, you see, of minds? Just imagine if you came from somebody. Just imagine if you came from two minds, you see, and those two had two hemispheres. So that embodiment had became whole inside of you. Just imagine you living on a planet and the planet has a conscious. Where would you find its sub? You see, what makes the earth stable? And it has so many minds inside of it. You see, inside of its perimeters of protection. You see, what is an unstable mind? An unstable mind is a being who lost his mind. You see, now what did it lose its mind from? You see, is it dead? Or is the mind transitioning? You see, sometimes we read things and then we take it upon ourselves and get hypnotized. We don't think about the world. Or not the world. Well, yes, the world that you live in, the world that you dwelled in, the world that you ask God to bless you in. You see, all these type things, you see, all these things, you see, the best thing to do is just to hold on to the true law of the two you came from. You see, I don't think people understand when I talk like this. I don't think they really gathered this body of understanding, you see. You see, somebody told me that I be doing witchcraft and things like that, you see. You see, I don't know, they don't talk to me. You see, they learn these things from other places. I don't know where they learning these things from. You see, I don't know what these things are. You see, I don't even know why they use the word. You see, witch and warlock and what else you call them? You see, I don't know what these things are. Tell me about it. Tell me what I'm doing. Let me see. Let me show you something. Tell me what I'm doing. You see, it's okay to use 100% of your mind, 100% of your brain. It's all right. You see, you can get that 90% back if you want to. You see, you don't have to stay at 10%. You see, in this world, you see, inside of these worlds, you see, oh yeah, you're going to do greater things than those that was before you. You see, because you're evolving. You see, you evolving. But whoever's in power, they're going to strip you as you evolve. And they're gonna pinch little things off of you. You see, pinch little things off of you so you won't be able to tell your children. You see, but you got to remember something. If the truth you came from is from the world and they act upon these things, you see, they're gonna have one child that you ain't gonna be able to tell them nothing about the world. You see, because they're gonna be stingy. They're gonna be stingy because they're in love with something that created them and they don't even know it. You see, they don't even know it. So they're gonna protect themselves. They might fall down in the world, you see, mentally. Not because they're unintelligent or uneducated or can't talk or on, whatever the type of things that's inside of your mind when you see beings like that. You see, it's because they're struggling to be whole, to keep their wholeness. You see, inside of a demonic world, you see, just infested with your demons and devils and all these other type of things that you done concocted in your head. You see, and that you conjure up. You see, with the words that you speak. You see, these are the things. These are the bodies. You see, these are the bodies that you're going to have to deal with later on. You see. You're going to have to deal with these bodies later on. And really, I don't think that a lot of people are ready because they're so sincere in what they know, so sincere in what they believe. They have revelations, they have all these type things. But when the true body come, you're going to go to war with it. You see, you're going to go to war with the true body because the true body ain't going to talk like you. The true body and the true mind, you see, the God body and the God mind, you see, they're not going to talk like you, you see, the way you talk it, you see. They're going to integrate what they learned probably, if they learn from a text, they're going to integrate that, you see, with the God mind, you see. So wherever they grew up, that's how it's going to come out. But you probably will recognize what they're saying, you see, but they may not say it the way it was written in the text, you see. Matter of fact, they might not say nothing, you see, because a lot of these things that's out here, you see, they were born from infections. A lot of these bodies out here were born from infections. You see, I don't think you understand what I'm talking about. You see, a lot of these things out here were born from infections. You see, infected minds, infected souls, infected spirits. You see, and they birth imps. You see, millions upon millions of imps that talk the same thing. You see, but for some reason, they don't have the power to change their communities. You see, they don't have the power to stop the horrible things that's happening in their area or where they dwell at. You understand what I'm talking about? I don't think you understand what I'm talking about. You see, just imagine you know the Most High. Or now, well, let me say the name. I hear a lot of people holler out Yahusha, and there are those who holler out Yahweh Shai. You see, they holler these great names out. You see, and there are those who holler out Jesus. You see, you don't think you're separated? You think you're whole? Which one of y'all gonna win? Which one of y'all gonna win? You got those that talk about Jesus. You got those that talk about Yahusha. You got those that talk about Yahushai. These vibrations, these sounds create things. You see, how you gonna decipher the real body? You see, it's only gonna be a few who know the real name in this day and time. You see, it's only a few who's gonna know the true name in this day and time because they hear themselves talking. You see, they hear themselves talking. You see, they hear themselves speaking the real true name in this land that they live in. You see, the God body is going to be in this land, have been birthed in this land, will be birthed in this land, will have everlasting life in this land. You see, if you haven't heard the name, if you only know the recordings of man, that's what's going to be in your soul. That's what's going to be in your spirit. You see, so when the true body come, you see, and he's released, you see, from his higher place to come down and be amongst the people, you see, you're going to boxing. You're going to boxing. You're going to fighting. You're going to go to war with him. You and your antichrist. You're going to go to war with them. You see, you and your antichrists. You see, you're going to go to war with them. You see, you're going to go to war with this big body. Why are you going to go to war with this big body? Because he's coming the way he was created. He's coming from the spirit that's guiding him, from the essence that's guiding him. He never gave it away. Only thing he probably gave to those who needed to see something. He probably gave away his abomination, you see, and let them feed on it. See, this is what he gave to them. You see, how would you hide somebody? He was hidden by his father. Where was you hidden at? You see, oh, you hid inside of the text. So that's where you'll be. That's where you'll be. You see, so when the big body come, you see, when the God body come and present itself, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised about what you see. You see, just know that something is on its way. You see, something is on its way. You see, and he's going to walk amongst the people. You see, you all going to see him. I say him. You all going to see this physical body. You see, I didn't say recognize him. You see, only those who are of him will recognize him. You see, they're going to feel him. You see, they're going to know it when they see it. You see, soon as they see his face, they're going to remember because of what was instilled inside of them. This is him who's going to recognize him. You see, It's a multitude. They don't recognize them. You see. See, you all gonna see, but would you recognize it? You see? Or do you need a warning or introduction? You see, do you need an introduction? What you want? Some horns? You want horns? What do you want? You want these little Hollywood things? So all these beings down here, these imps and demonic souls down here can create movies and all these other type of things and false narratives and all this other type of Hollywood stuff, you see, to get you prepared. You see? So, because you know, this is, you want to know. You see? You want to know what's going on. You see? You want to, you know, Jesus coming in the clouds. You see? You want to know. This is Jesus coming in the clouds. So they're going to draw all these cartoons. They're going to create movies with it coming with the clouds. You see? Imagine it. Imagine you coming into a spot, but everything that you speaking is kind of cloudy to the receivers. You see, it's cloudy. You know, you really don't understand what they're talking about. You see, it's kind of confusing a little bit. You see, but for some reason, the clouds that's coming from this being are dark, gloomy. You see, imagine you reading something and it said it's coming with the clouds. You see, what's inside of the clouds? You see, are they white fluffy clouds? Are they storm clouds? What are they? Are they machines? You see? That's cloaked in a cloud. You see? What are they? Or are they specifying the mind? Do you know? Do you want to know? I'm sitting here telling you something. I'm telling you that you're not ready. You know the book. You know your experiences from what you was taught down here. I know you know. You see, you know everything. You know all, you know, shit. You see, there's things down here that needs to be cleaned up. You see, somebody needs to have an eye to see it. You see, there are people with this contraption in their hands, making money from these things. You see? They speak from inside of the television. They speak from inside of this light. You see? That's carried by lithium. You see? I'm just trying to share a little bit with you. You see? I'm just hoping that you are preparing yourself. You see, you're preparing yourself. You know, it's okay to have intelligence. You can make money out here. But concentrate on or understand what brilliance is. Understand splendor. Understand the true magnetism of magnificence. You see, understand these bodies. Listen. You know how many intelligent people aren't brilliant? You see, you know, have you ever heard people that's so articulate with the things that they didn't gather, the recall, because they have real great recall and they articulate with it. And you try to integrate these things in your life. And then as the decades go by, you see that all the things that you was learning from these articulate, beautiful people, all these things have crumbled, you see. And you let yourself go. You see, I bet you in the beginning, you felt lose something. You felt a certain type of way. In the beginning, I'm sure you did. You felt a certain type of way, you see, about what was said to you. You see, and then knowing how you are, you tried to integrate these things in your life, and then you had children. These children grew up and let you know the things that was taught to you before they got into the world or before the gate opened down below, you see. And they start showing you as they developed, you see. You see, they're fighting the anti. You see, they're talking to you. They're trying to show you with all the things that you see on social media and now on regular television, all these things, and you see these babies do all these things. They're showing you how far you have failed. You see, they're showing you these things. You see, they're showing you this house of abomination. You see, and you can't escape it because it's right for you. You see, you in your own lane. You doing your own thing. You see, you reaping gains from that thing. You see, in your lane. See, you reaping gains from it. So hold on to you. Hold on to you. And put your boxing gloves on, because you're going to box this body that you said that blessed you. You're going to box this body. And matter of fact, the one who actually gave you all these things down here, you see, he might be with the one that you said you love to war against you, you see? Because anything up under him is under order. You see, anything that's under the big body, the big mind, is under order. You see. And from that order, it has inhabitants. You see. How you going to make them stable? You give them an order. You see, to have a stable mind, you have to be in order. You see. So just pay attention to these fragments. Pay attention to these little bitty uneducated words and uneducated thoughts. Isn't that how y'all tell me I am uneducated? I'm just talking to you. See, I love you way beyond your comprehension. I'm talking about true love. We both poles. That's supreme negative and that's supreme positive. You see, I love them both the same. You see, they're all one. Both of them are one. You see, one do something over here and one do something over there. You see, I call them my parents. I call them my parents. Yeah. I am the embodiment of those two. You see, that's why I don't talk about these things that you people talk about, because I know you don't know What created you? See, a lot of you could be monsters. You see, aliens and shit. What they call them, aliens. You know, you could be these beings. You see, I'm just talking to you. Just know that you have a father, regardless of how he was. You're here. Just know that you had a mother, regardless of how she is. You're here. You see, and both of their essence, part of their essence is inside of you. You see. Yeah.